A blind woman is walking near a swimming pool when another woman knocks her over. A man seeing this, runs to help her and jumps into the pools. He then tells her to calm down because he was there. The woman seeing that, gets mad. The man then says that the woman knew she couldn't walk near the pool that way as it was dangerous and she could fall. She then says that she was just walking and someone had pushed her. The man says it didn't matter and that she couldn't risk her life like that. She says that she was sure someone had pushed her, but that she would never do that again. He then returns the woman's glasses and cane and says that next time he might not be there to help her. The husband then says that he wanted to know why she was talking to the other, but she says that someone had pushed her. She says she wanted to get out of there and asks her husband for help, but he says that was the last time she would talk to the man and leaves saying he wouldn't help her. The man then asks the other man to leave and tells him to go back to his work. The woman then asks the man to calm down. He says he didn't know what had happened, as she had gone to buy the man some clothes and ended up falling into the pool. The man then tells her that he wasn't mad at him. He says he had just seen her at the pool and was concerned for her safety and went there to see what was going on. She then thanks him and hugs him. She then tells them to go buy the man's clothes together, but he says it wasn't necessary as he could do it himself. He tells her to rest and not worry about it. She then asks him if he was sure about that, because she really wanted to go with him, but he says that he was sure about that and that all he needed was her credit card. She then says she understands and tells the man that her credit card was in her room. He then says he loved her and leaves, leaving the woman wondering where he went. Later, another woman meets the man and says she misses him. Another man sees that and is curious. The man then says that soon his wife would pass her company over to him and then they would get rid of her. She says she can't stand seeing her love with the woman anymore. The man then says that while the woman was drying off, they could be together. She accepts and the two enter the bathroom. The other man sees it and is disappointed. The man then tells his friend that he had the woman's credit card and they could buy whatever they wanted. She says that was a great idea and hugs him, but he says that they needed to be careful, because someone could see the two of them together like that. Later, the man is with his woman. The other woman arrives and asks if the woman was okay and asks if she called her. She tells her to sit down as she needed to talk to the other woman. She says that as she already knew, she was unable to take care of her companies alone. So she wanted to pass her companies on to the man. As they were going to get married, the man would take care of it for her. The other woman then asks her if she was sure she wanted to pass all her businesses on to the man. She says that she was sure, as he was the best person to take care of her business. The other woman then says that she would do whatever the woman wanted. The man then tells the woman not to worry as he would take good care of her money. She says that she knew that and that she didn't want him to talk anymore, that the money was hers. She says that now the money was theirs. He then agrees and says that now the money was theirs. Some time later, the woman was with her friend and she says she has news. She then tells her friend that she was going to marry the man. The friend then says that it was wonderful and the woman says that besides, she had sent all her money to the man. This makes the friend very happy and she celebrates. She then says that it was very good and that the woman would not regret it because the man would take good care of her money. Meanwhile, the other man was in the distance listening to the conversation. The friend then says that she was sure that she would be very happy because the man was a good person and that they should celebrate. She then says that she would go ahead to prepare everything and leaves. She then leaves the woman in the middle of the street and says she'll be back soon so they can celebrate. When she leaves, the other man goes to the woman. She gets scared and asks who it was. He tells her not to be scared as it wouldn't hurt her. He says the woman couldn't pass her money on to the man. She then asks why, and he says that he had seen the man and his friend were lovers. He says that the two were planning to steal everything from the woman. The woman then asks him if he was sure about that, and he says yes. He says he had seen it with his own eyes. He tells the woman that he has been working for the woman for a long time and that in all that time he has developed a great affection for her. He says he would never come up with something like that. He says that he had seen it and that the woman was to believe him. She says that she believes in the man and that she had put her trust in the man and her friend, as she was very lonely. The man then says that she never went alone, as he was always there to take care of her and that he would do anything she wanted, as she was part of his family. The woman then thanks the man and asks if she could count on him. The man says that she could always count on him. She then says that she had surgery to do and that the man would accompany her, but after what she had heard, she didn't have the heart to ask him anymore. She then asks the man to accompany him. He says he would gladly go and that he would always be there to help her. Later, the man helps the woman to sit on the chair. She then asks him to call the man and her friend. The two then arrive and the man walks away and prepares to film the two. The friend then asks if the woman had called for the two. The woman then says that even though she really wanted to talk to the two, she wasn't feeling well and would go to the bathroom. She says that she would be back soon and that the two of them were to wait for her. The friend then says that she didn't know how the man managed to stay by her side. The man then says that that was very strange, that she always asks for his help to go to the bathroom. The friend then says that that was good, because then they could be together. She then says that she didn't know how he could stand to be around that woman and that finally she had passed her money on to him. She then asks if, when she travels, she could trust them to take care of her house and says that the man should do that, because now he also owned everything. He then says that she could trust him and her friend and that he would take good care of everything. At this point, he says he needs to leave and then asks the woman's friend if she needs his help. She says yes, and then they leave and say goodbye to the woman. When they leave, the other man goes up to the woman and tells her that he had recorded everything and that she could be relieved. She then gets excited about it and the other man shows her the recording. She then gets excited listening to the recording and says that she needed war for her lawyer. Right now, the other man helps with the cell phone and she calls her lawyer. She then said that she needed to talk to her lawyer. The woman then listens to the recording that the other man had recorded. In the recording, he hears her friend saying that he couldn't stand to be with the woman any longer and wanted her money right away. The man reassures her that soon they will take everything the woman has. When she finishes listening to the recording, the woman is very sad. Seeing that, the other man says he could get something for her, but she says it wasn't necessary and just wanted to talk to her lawyer. The friend then arrives at the house and the woman asks if anyone has arrived. He says no one was there, but she says she heard the door open. He says she was hearing things. She then asks him if he was sure, as she was smelling a different scent, but he says that there was no one there. The man then asks what day the woman was thinking of setting their wedding date. She then says that she was thinking about next week. This makes both of them very happy and they celebrate. She then asks what that noise was. The man says that he was just celebrating and that he was happy that they were finally able to get married. The friend then goes to the door, opens it and greets the woman and the man. The woman then asks how her friend was doing. She says she was fine and asks what their news is. The woman then puts down her crutch and says she was a great friend and tells her to get away from her fiancé. This takes both of them by surprise and they ask what she was talking about. The friend then says that the woman was imagining things, as she was not close to her fiancé. She then laughs and says they thought she couldn't see, and calls out to the other man. He arrives, and the other woman says that she had warned the man. The other man then kisses the woman, and this takes both of them by surprise. The man then asks if the woman was cheating on him. She then laughs and says the man was very insightful. She then says that another surprise of hers was that she could see now. The two then say that that was wonderful and asks why she didn't warn her before. The woman then says that her friend was fake and that she was picking up her boyfriend inside her house. She then says that the man was just after her money. They're saying it wasn't just her money, they wanted her businesses and houses too. He then says that that didn't justify it and that all that time he had dedicated to her and now she was cheating on him. The woman then tells him to stop it and that the two were cheating on her inside her house. The friend then says that she was privileged to be with a handsome man like him and that he was hers, she just lent him to the woman. She says the woman should be thanking her. The woman then says that she could have him as she no longer wanted to see him in front of her. The man then tells his friend to shut up, but she says that it would no longer be possible to fix that situation, which the woman was seeing now. She then gets mad at her friend. The man then asks what documents those were, but the other man tells him not to speak that way to his fiancée. The man then says that he was just taking advantage of the woman to get her money. He says the man couldn't say that, he was just a thief. He tells the man to sign the documents soon, or he would be beaten. The lawyer then says that it was a power of attorney for the man to return everything that the woman had given him, whether they were cars, real estate, etc. The man says that it was absurd and that she had given all that to him. The lawyer then says it was for him to sign as they had proof. If he didn't sign, she would sue the man for moral damages against her client. The woman then says that she was being very good to her and that she was giving him the opportunity to return the things she had given him. He then tells them to rethink that and that now that she had her sight back, her friend didn't mean anything anymore and that he loved her. She says that now she was in love with the other man and that he was supposed to sign and leave. The man then asks if she would really leave a handsome man like him for a man like the gardener. The woman then says that the other man was much more beautiful than him, both physically and morally. She tells him to just sign and go. The lawyer says she advises him to sign. The other man tells him to make up his mind if he's going to sign or he's going to kick him out. The man then tells him to step aside as he was going to sign. He then signs and the woman tells him to get out of her house. The man then walks away and tells her that she would be sorry. The woman then says that she doesn't know what she would have done without him and his lawyer to help her. Outside, the friend was waiting for the man. She asks where he would go, and he says that now that she's figured it all out, it's over. The friend then says that she had already found another one to do the trick, and he asks if this one wasn't difficult to deal with like the woman. She says no.